we're talking about geeky movies up next on Geek Out SA.
Do not attempt to adjust your YouTube video. We control the stream.
And welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun. How's it going? And stuffing things.
I'm doing my beauty queen wave. Stuffing things.
Stuffing things.
We're talking about stuffing things today. Yeah. I tried to get Vincent to say that before the show and he wouldn't do it. He was like, no, I'm going to tell him I'm talking about movies.
I'm not going to say that.
I'm not going to say that. Oh, you say it.
That'll be next week's topic.
That'll be next week because we're running out of things to talk about.
Stuffing things.
Stuffing things.
I do have something set up for the end of August, so that's going to be kind of cool.
Well, aren't you special?
I just set it up today, so that was kind of cool.
Actually, somebody reached out to me today, and I haven't told you yet, but they want to talk to us on Monday, so maybe they're going to be on the show.
Oh, cool.
But I won't tell.
Sweet.
Shush. Shush.
So we're talking about geeky movies today. So
it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and unfortunately during COVID, a lot of the theaters aren't open.
Yeah.
So a lot of like companies and had to go to streaming services.
Well, I'm really, really concerned about the Alamo Drafthouse because that's like our all-time, or was our all-time favorite theater, and it is Kaputski's. Like, I'm pretty sure it's donezo. Like, they still haven't reopened. I don't see a reopening planned. There's nothing that I look up that shows that they're going to even be ready for reopening. AMC is supposed to be trying to open at some point this month, but I know AMC had a big fight with Universal because they did the whole Trolls thing on streaming. But I don't know what these theaters expected these movie companies to do exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad that Santikos has been open, and again, Santikos is really open with a very few movies, and a lot of them are much older movies. I mean, you can go see Star Wars, you can go see Jurassic Park, you can go see Grease.
Yeah, and there are some that they're showing that came out like right as COVID kind of like mess everything up. Yeah,
I really was hoping that we were going to eventually get Wonder Woman. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Wonder Woman, and I keep looking to see if they're going to release Wonder Woman, and still nothing. And they're promising us that Mulan is going to be released, and still nothing.
Yeah.
So
Black Widow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had all these kinds of things lined up that we wanted to watch and review, and they're not even releasing them to stream.
No, not yet.
So it's been a little interesting, but because we missed out on a bunch of things because the theaters were behind, now that they are starting to stream them, we're able to kind of catch up on them, and we have gone to Santikos a few times.
Yeah, we did. And they're doing a really good job at keeping everybody distant.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been really proud of what they're doing at Santikos. We went to Casablanca and Palladium, so we've been to both of those theaters for Santikos. They're doing a really good job as far as, they ask you if you've had symptoms, and of course people could lie, but they at least are taking the steps to have somebody there to ask you. They weren't letting you get refills on any of the sodas or anything. They have since changed that. However, they're asking you, like if you were at a restaurant or whatever, to go get a new cup, to get a clean cup.
Yeah.
You're taking things to them so that you can get refills. They have somebody stationed in there that's wiping everything down.
Or at Santikos, they have like plastic gloves that you can use to fill up your own drink there.
Yeah.
So they're taking precautions. They're taking pretty good precautions. So,
yeah.
We were able to see 1 1/10 movies there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
But the first movie and these are not in any order.
No.
Just an order that I put in my mind. The first one that we're going to talk about is My Spy.
He probably picked this one first because he doesn't like it.
Well, let's go ahead and cue up that.
Well, there is one thing I'm good at.
How's school going?
You have jelly all over your face. Is it too late to homeschool me?
Are you CIA?
don't you hand over that phone before you get yourself in big trouble.
Won't you get in big trouble for having your cover blown by a 9-year-old who's recording this and streaming it to the cloud?
Can't you do that?
Yeah, not actually that hard.
We can cut a deal. I want you to teach me how to be a spy.
But just to be clear, this is a one-time arrangement. Never again.
Pinky promise. So what's first?
A lie detector test. I can smell a lie. Endorphins release an odor, and the ultimate tell, the slightest blink of an eye.
You mean like this? JJ, I admire all of your tattoos.
Stop.
When you look out there, what do you see?
90 civilians, minimal security, soft perimeter.
Smiling people having fun. You should try it sometime. Ice cream will make you feel better.
I feel a little better. My turn. The objective of this exercise is to get past me. A good idea might be to cause a distraction, because otherwise there'd be zero chance that you could... Oh, Blueberry!
Under the rough exterior,
Found you.
you're a nice guy. What is he doing?
This looks like the wedding at the end of Shrek.
I just wanna break the rules.
So that was My Spy. So it's a geeky family kind of movie. I didn't.
Vincent, that's all I
I
have to
didn't
say.
hate it.
You didn't hate it?
No, I didn't hate it. But it was definitely something that was very predictable.
Well, it's for children and
Yeah.
families, right? So it's super predictable, but the little girl is so cute. I mean, when she does the whole blinking thing when she drops his fish over, and she's very precocious, and you're right, it's very predictable. You know exactly everything that's going to happen before it happens, as it happens. It's super see-through, but they were cute. Their dynamic is cute. He's very much a lunk, and he plays that very well, right? So, and
He's an actor.
I mean, he acts that kind of part, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy to see him in that, and he's the guy who has to learn to reach in and find himself and find the love. It's very tropey, yeah. But I thought it was really cute. It's definitely, if you have kids in that 8 to 10 range, they're gonna enjoy.
They would definitely like that.
Yeah, they're gonna enjoy it, and I'm kind of, I guess because I'm a teacher and a mom, and so I like all of that kiddie stuff. I've always liked all those little young adult kiddie kind of stuff, so I thought it was cute. And it's a cute kind of, get away from too much reality kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just real cutesy, and, life doesn't happen like that. But
And if you like spy stuff.
And it's real cute because that lady who's in it, who I always forget her name, but she's in that funny show we liked, about the end of the world or whatever. She's really funny.
Last Man on Earth.
Yeah. She's super, super funny, and bless her heart, she gets her feelings hurt so much in this movie. They're so mean to her. She's like the Meg of this movie. So, and she's really good at playing that kind of part too, where she's just...
Yeah, she kind of does play that part.
That part a lot, where she's a real big goober and nobody wants to be her friend, and she gets her feelings hurt and then people feel sorry for her and that kind of stuff. So, so all in all, I thought it was really good.
It's a fun movie.
It's a fun family movie. So yeah, I would say that.
Nothing that I would choose to watch.
I chose to watch it, so he watched it with me.
It wasn't bad.
He did not choose it.
It wasn't bad.
I have an 8 to 10-year-old, and he chose to watch it, so therefore I had to watch it.
Yeah.
And what did you think, though?
No, it was alright.
Yeah.
It entertained me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it entertained me, but it was just
It's not as good as some of the other ones we're going to get to on the list. Yeah. We're going to get to better ones.
So the second one on our list, we actually... we saw this in the theater.
Okay, we
tried to watch it at the theater. So it's Fantasy Island. So here it is, Fantasy Island. Check it out.
There is an elevator. In the elevator, you press the button to the floor with no name. Behind those doors, there's a life. you always dreamt of.
The plane. It's here. This weekend, you will be our guests.
Here, anything and everything is possible.
No service. It's not everything is possible.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Rurik. Let me officially welcome you to Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island!
I'm curious how this all works.
What if your fantasy involves a person from your life?
Holograms. Like Tupac.
What if it's somebody who died?
Tupac.
So, what's your fantasy?
Revenge on a childhood bully.
Your life is about to change. I hope you're ready.
That is a really good hologram.
There is only one fantasy per guest. And you must see your fantasy through.
It brought her back to life.
No matter what.
Oh my God. That's really her.
Rourke, this is not what I meant.
What the hell is this place?
People die here.
The island's twisting what we asked for.
We weren't brought here to have our own fantasies.
I want it, I got it. I want it.
We were brought here to be a part of something else.
I got it. I want it, I got it.
I'm your friend.
I've always wanted to hear you say that.
So this is Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, so it's a lot darker than the show.
Well, I grew up watching the show, you know, Ricardo Montalban and the actor who played Tattoo, I don't remember his name, you know, the plane, boss, the plane. I loved that show when I was growing up. It always seemed like a little bit dark to me, maybe because I was younger and, you know, people had to learn from it, you know, sometimes get slapped in the face with it or whatever, like, oh, hey, it's probably a bad idea. Yeah. So this kind of takes that and just amps it up.
Yeah. And puts, I don't think I'd call this a horror, though.
No, I think it's more of a suspense, like, thriller.
Yeah.
Because it's not a horror. You're not afraid for, like, yourself or that it could happen to you. Yeah. Unless you, of course, go to Fantasy Island. But even then, not exactly a horror. More of a thriller. Yeah. More of a thriller.
I didn't jump out of my seat at any point.
No, it's just suspenseful and it'll keep you guessing. Yeah. So that's the nice thing about it. It keeps you guessing. We don't want to ruin it too much because it's still fairly new. We ended up having to pay for it. It's new enough that you still have to pay for it if you get it on Amazon Prime. So we just wanted to let y'all know that you have to pay for it.
Here's what happened. Let's talk about the story about what happened. So we went to the actual theater to see this. We'll probably get that. So we went through and then
a power outage.
There was a power outage, and then they couldn't start the projector again.
Mm-hmm. And we had already seen a good enough portion of the movie that we were hooked.
Yeah.
So we were like, no. Yeah. So fortunately, they gave us rain checks so we can go back at some point and see something else. But we were already so hooked that we wanted to watch it then. We didn't want to have to wait until we could take our rain check like the next day or something and go. So we came home and we're searching for it. It's on Amazon Prime, and lo and behold, we paid for it.
Yeah.
It was only like $5.99, so it was a little cheaper than the theater tickets because the theater tickets are like $5.15 a piece now. But yeah, so yeah.
I really liked it.
I liked it too.
I really liked it. And there's a lot of nods to the show.
Yeah.
And if you close your eyes at certain times, Eric Bana sounds like Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like in sometimes when he's talking.
Yes. Yeah, he did his research. So, and talk about somebody who I think is a good actor. He's actually a good actor. He can play different things, I think.
He can play a ton of things.
Yeah.
He can be funny and then
serious and
kind of dark. So that was kind of cool.
Yep. So are we going to get our video shut down?
No. What it does, it just marks it because we're showing some of the trailers.
But because they're trailers, they're like for everybody to see, right? We're not.
It's not a copyright strike. It's just a copyright notice that there is.
Providing we leave all the stuff in at the end of the trailer, I think we're good.
Yeah.
If I cut that out.
Yeah.
Okay, don't cut that out. All right, so what did you put next on the list, in your mind list, that we don't know what the reason was for?
Well, number 3 came out recently on Disney Plus is Hamilton. So we finally got to see Hamilton.
So this did a couple of really good things for us. Vincent and I actually enjoy the theater, but getting tickets to Hamilton is practically impossible. And we had been watching...
And I hear it's actually cheaper to go to New York and get the tickets there.
And
watch it there.
And watch it there. And the original cast is no longer doing it anymore, so it kind of, to me, defeats the purpose a little bit, right? I still enjoy it, but I would have liked to have seen it with the original cast. So, Andrew Lloyd Webber, when COVID started, was putting out his musical theater on YouTube for a limited time, and you could watch it. So Vincent and I watched Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and we watched The Phantom of the Opera, and so we enjoy theater already as it is. But I'm not a history buff. Vince is a history buff. I am not a history buff. So when everybody's like, Hamilton, I'm like, who cares, right? Like, I don't care to see that.
History kind of almost forgot Hamilton, and I think that's one of the reasons that they did it.
Yeah. Well, he read a novel that spoke to him, and then he adapted it from there. And several people have read the novel since.
But if you don't know what it is, let's go ahead and cue it up, and you kind of can see what it is.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Founding father without a father, got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. To your union and the hope that you provide, may you always be satisfied.
This is Hamilton.
So this is about Alexander Hamilton, and you have rap in there, you have really good music in there, and it's a really good story. And you learn a little bit more about Alexander Hamilton, which he was forgotten by history.
Well, and I think a lot of what he's trying to highlight is that he was an immigrant, right? And all the turmoil that he had to go through to try to get his voice heard. And then he does highlight some of the things that his wife did after his passing and stuff. So it's definitely interesting. I need to watch it again with closed captioning because they speak and rap very quickly.
Very quick.
And so you miss some of what they're saying.
You got to be on your toes when you're watching that, because they're rattling off, and it's just like, it's really good, but yeah, you probably need to see it more than once.
Yeah.
So I really like this. It was really, really, really good.
Really good.
I mean, I never got why it was going to be so good. I was just like, well, it's rapping about some founding father guy. And then once I found out what the story was all about and what happens, it kind of rings true. A lot of things that happen in there kind of ring true about what's happening in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like, it kind of gives you an idea of like what was in the mind of when it was being written.
And I like the part that Aaron Burr had to play, because, you know, he's the one who killed Hamilton, but you see how Hamilton made him a villain, kind of wrote that narrative for him, and kind of pushed some of that on him, and antagonized him, and did a lot of things. And so Hamilton brought about a lot of things on himself,
yeah.
And took some people down because of what he did. So it was interesting to see. The history of it is very interesting. I didn't think I would be interested in the historical part, but it's very interesting. I've since gone and read some things because of it.
2 thumbs up. You should definitely check it out. 2 thumbs up. For number 4, that's one we actually saw in the theater. Yes?
I don't know. What's number 4?
Bloodshot.
We did see that in the theater.
We did see that in the theater. So that one was actually a really
blah
movie.
Yeah, Stuart's going to show you the clip.
Yeah, you're going to see it.
Gina, I'm home.
Memories are made of this.
What is this place?
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but you got yourself killed. At RST, we rebuild the most important assets in the U.S. military. Soldiers like yourself. You're the first who we've successfully managed to bring back, but improved, enhanced. With the technology in your veins, you have an army inside you that will not only make you stronger, it will heal you instantly.
Holy shit.
Now tell me, do you remember anything?
Gina.
Where are you going?
I've got unfinished business. I'm gonna find the man who murdered my wife and kill him.
Oh, that's not good. All right, shut him down. And initiate sequence. Okay, who is the next target for elimination?
Memories are made of this.
Tell me, do you remember anything?
Do I know you guys?
I don't think so.
They've been manipulating you. What you think is real sometimes ain't.
And initiate sequence.
You can't control me forever.
Sure about that? Revenge is what makes a man like you exceptional.
You know nothing about men like me.
That is absolutely fantastic.
I feel like I just heard this. Are they playing this on repeat?
And that was it. And that looked really good in the trailer. Now, here's something I did. I like the concept. I like the technology in there. But it was like way predictable. He just played the Vin Diesel character that he always plays.
Yeah, he was totally Vin Diesel being Vin Diesel in that movie. There was no depth, and it was just like, it was every trope you can imagine thrown into one movie, and then every over-the-top action scene thrown into one movie. And some of the concepts were good if they had just edited themselves just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Like, there's a scene where they get into this accident in this tunnel, and there's all this flour and stuff, and the way he kind of uses the flour bags, and it's kind of like, it could have been interesting, but you know every moment of what's going to happen before it happens, and you're just like, oh, that's happening next. Yep. Oh, that's going to happen next. Yeah. Oh, that too, you know. And I guess I was really hoping it was going to be more like that Jennifer Garner movie, Peppermint, was that the name of it? Where her family gets killed by the gang and then she like has to become strong and go, right? So I was hoping that it was going to be more of that kind of story. But alas, no. And it's that very tropey, he's
not the super powered, you can't kill him.
Universal soldier being used. He has so much power that
we
it's
saw that
pointless.
back in the 90s.
Yeah. It you know, wife's not really dead. They've been lying to him, you know, but somebody on his team has fallen for him and has feelings and they want to save him now because he's just been used too much. And I was just like, you know, this is the worst. It's just, and I wanted it to be good because I thought this is going to be really cool.
It wasn't as bad as, what is it called, Witch Hunter?
The last Witch Hunter?
Yeah, and I wanted to walk out on that movie.
That movie was
so
horrible. It was horrible.
Did we actually? I think we did walk out on that movie.
No, we didn't end up seeing it in the theaters. We saw it here on cable, and we just sat through it just because we wanted to see like what it was going to come to fruition. We saw it at the Dollar Theater. That's right, we did. Yeah, no, we stayed. You know, I think you like all the Fast and the Furious stuff, which that's fine. You know, it's got all the cars and everything. I really think I only liked him in Riddick. Yeah. Of all the things that he's done, and you know, he gets
the whole series.
He gets a lot of geek credit, you know, because he plays Dungeons and Dragons and all of that stuff. But I just hated Triple X. I just thought that was just
the first one I liked. The other ones I didn't like.
Just awful.
They were awful.
And he's just another one of those actors who he's
but
really
I haven't disliked any of the Fast and Furious movies. Not a single one.
They're okay. It's just, again, it's a lot of shoot 'em up, bang 'em up. We know what's going to happen. Like, it's very tropey, right? Yeah, blah, blah,
you get to see cool cars and cool things happen.
Yeah, it's a dude movie.
Cool. Yeah.
But he's another one of those actors who he's playing himself. Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel in Vin Diesel. You know, it's like he doesn't, there's no range. You know what you're getting with him. At least with The Rock, when I see The Rock, sometimes The Rock can be really funny, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes he can be very gritty and dark and everything. I think The Rock has some range. I'm not saying that he has a huge amount. You know, The Rock is not Tom Hanks, but he has more range, I think, than Vin Diesel. So, but I don't think it's Vin Diesel's fault that Bloodshot was lame. He just did the acting they told him to act. It was whoever directed it and edited it and whoever didn't say, oh, this is too predictable, you know, this is too cheesy. Maybe let's surprise the people a little bit, you know.
Or maybe it was a rush job too, because this is Sony's attempt at a shared comic universe, because they probably said, no, we're technically losing Spider-Man a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is actually supposedly the first in a line of Valiant movies.
Oh, okay.
For Sony. Sony has signed the whole universe, so...
Not on a good start so far. Could be doing better. Yeah, so, I mean, watch it if you have nothing better to do.
He's a better Groot.
If you have nothing better to do, it's, you know, and you just want something action and you just want to see stuff get blown up and everything, it's good for that.
Yeah.
It is good for that, so it's something to watch.
So right now I actually want to take a break to go ahead and discuss. So the person that won the lightsaber never actually claimed it.
Mine!
No back scratcher for Stuart.
No back scratcher for Stuart.
It's totally mine now. That was the rules.
It was supposed to be the rules, but you know we're not going to give you this. So what do they need to do now?
You work for us, you can't win. Sorry.
Since the contest is over, what are we going to do now to get people to try to win the saber? Are we going to go back to the original group of people and repick, or we're going to make them do it?
To do it right here on this. Now, not in the live stream, but on YouTube, in the comments. So not in the live chat, but in the comments of this video, type in, "I want that lightsaber." That's it. I want that lightsaber.
I want that lightsaber. Stuart, you can't make a different account and type it in there. And he's doing it right now.
You'll be disqualified. Family and friends disqualified. No, friends are okay.
Well, how about anybody who has ever worked on the show? Because I did a Throwback Thursday post yesterday and showed a picture of a bunch of people that have worked on the show. So, like McKenna and Vivian and Panda and Matt and Michelle, they can win it?
I mean, they can win it. It's going to be...
It's a randomizer.
It's a randomizer, so...
I hope my students are watching because Cooper and Bass really wanted to win this really, really badly. So I hope they're watching since they don't know that we're doing this. So we'll see what happens to them.
So so now that you know, so tell everybody, because we want to get it out there and get it...
Yeah, so share, let people know, and what do they have to comment again, Vince? I want that lightsaber. I want it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool. So, what are we on? We're on number 5.
5.
So number 5 is another Netflix movie. It's on Netflix. Is The Old Guard. So let's go ahead and
roll that beautiful
footage.
I lead a group of soldiers, fighters like you, with an extremely rare skill set.
What do you mean?
Mother? Let's just say we're very hard to kill. You've got questions, kid. You want answers? I have the new one.
And?
I think she has potential. See, you're already healing faster. You're gonna do great.
So you good guys or bad guys?
Depends on the century.
So we really never die.
Just because we keep living doesn't mean we stop hurting.
Throughout history, we've protected this world, fighting in the shadows. It's nearly impossible to disappear in the world we live in today. Would you like me to take one for you?
Oh, thank you so much.
Here you go.
Thank you.
These are extraordinary individuals. They are extremely resistant to capture.
They're going to lock us up and weaponize us. But they've never faced an army like ours.
An army of 5. Shit, let's start a band.
If we can unlock their genetic code, the entire world will be begging us for the key.
You shouldn't have done that. We don't have all the answers. But we do have purpose.
I strongly recommend that we leave right now.
Let's move!
Wait for the signal.
How the hell can you even tell? Oh. I'm gonna keep up on all that.
And that was it. So I really, really like this movie.
This movie is spectacular.
It's not predictable.
Not predictable. Charlize Theron is meant for these kinds of roles.
Mm-hmm.
She is a very good actress. She is very easy on the eyes. And there's something about when she picks up an axe that turns everybody's butter, let me tell you. You're like, there's something, this is going to sound odd, and we've had this discussion before, there's something romantic about old school violence, I guess you want to say. You know, it's easy to just shoot 'em up, but when you have a sword or, you know, a double-handed battle axe or something like that, and you're going through and you're fighting like old school like that, you know, it's romanticized, I guess, because I grew up with that Dungeons and Dragons fantasy kind of thing. So when I see them use those tools like that in a modern world, I'm just like, yes. It just makes you so much more of a bad mamma jamma when you can do that. And so she's one of those.
It kind of gave me almost a Blade feel to it.
Mm-hmm. It was like a Highlander Blade, kind of juxtaposition. Yeah.
No vampires, but
no, but still had that kind of feel to it. Yeah. It's got a really good storyline. There are some really good lines in there for the LGBTQ community to watch, which I thought was really good of them. And it's not in your face.
No.
It's just reminding people to think about what they say and how they say it and who they're talking about. But it's not violent, like overly violent like Bloodshot. It's the perfect amount of violence.
So we got some comments here.
Okay.
Wesley Blake says, I think you need to review that blood-pumping action thriller Mahogany Sunrise starring that super sexy Wesley Blake guy.
We'll do that, Wesley, and you can come on and we'll do that with you.
And Jenny Lee Cosplay says, hey y'all, hey Jenny.
Hi.
She's growing on me as an actress. I guess she's talking about
Charlize Theron. Yeah. Really, really love her. There's something very strong and quiet about her that comes across when she acts.
Yeah.
And so that strength she needed for this character, and so she has that quiet grace, that kind of like...
I liked her in Neon Flux.
I did too, but people didn't necessarily like that. But
even though she should have worn way, way less clothing.
I'm sure people would have been...
If they were going to be accurate to the cartoon, she should have worn way, way, way less clothes.
Yeah. So overall, really good. We don't want to give away too much of this movie because it's new.
We don't want to spoil any.
And we really want you to watch it.
We're not spoiling any of these, so these are good.
Really, really want you to watch it. So, all right. So we have one more before we can end the show.
So